What's up, guys? It's B Wade. I'm going to walk you through 4 of my favorite WNBA picks for the Dallas-Minnesota game that's going down Wednesday night. I'm going to show you that research, the analysis, and kind of explain to you why I like these picks and why I'm putting my money on them. The goal is to give you guys enough data so that you can make informed decisions as to whether you want to tail these or not. Nothing's guaranteed. This is always gambling. I always want to preface with that for you guys and also for YouTube so that they don't give me any violations. That being said, this is the channel where I will be posting for the next week, so make sure you subscribed if you haven't already. Looking at how we've been doing, I gave out some WNBA picks for, I think, yesterday. We hit 2, we missed 2. We didn't hit either slip because we missed 1 on each slip. So it is what it is. 50% average, but we ended up losing 2 units. So all in all, it was a down day for those free picks. It happens. But I always want to be transparent about how we're doing, right? I always want to own whatever it is. If we're winning, of course, I'm going to own it. But if we're losing, I'm going to own that too. So looking at VIP, how we've been doing on game picks, we've been absolutely murdering it. We went 4-1 yesterday, all MLB picks. Day before that, we went 4-2. The day before that, we went 5-1. Like, it just keeps going. Of course, we've had some down days, right? But most of our down days, like, will be 3-4, something like that. And so you can see on the screen over the last month, we're up over like 21, 22 units, something like that. You'll see it on the screen here. And, you know, over time, we are traditionally profitable. Anything can happen. I always want to let you guys know this is gambling, right? So play responsibly. That's all I can say. But I do hours of research to make sure that we are in the best position to profit as we can be. And so if you guys want to try VIP, you get all these game picks. You also get additional DFS picks where we continue to hit anywhere from 2 to 5 additional slips a day. There's 2 ways to jump in. You can either use code NBA in the checkout. You'll get 80% off, and it'll cost you about $10 for a week of picks or $20 for a month of picks. Or you sign up with one of these apps I tell you about in the video, Sleeper, Underdog. You make a deposit using my code, and then you send me a screenshot on Instagram, and I'll hook you up with a free week of VIP. They're both great options. You'll get all our picks for the next week. On top of that, I do a giveaway every month on this channel just to show my appreciation and say thank you to you guys because I genuinely enjoy doing this. And all you have to do to be entered is subscribe to this channel, like this video, drop a comment, and you'll be entered to win that signed Anthony Edwards jersey at the end of May. This will be the 7th autographed jersey I'm giving away, and I'm going to keep doing it every month moving forward because I really do appreciate you guys. So make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment so you can be entered, but also to help me out because this channel is just getting going with the other one shut down for now. So let's get into these picks. Starting out with Courtney Williams, over 6.5 assists, and y'all see how she started this year out, right? That's not what she was doing all last year, but there's a couple key points I want to go into here, right? 2024, she only went over this 34% of the time. But when you look at the end of the year, she was going over it way more consistently. And so if we look at her last 10 games, these 2 games being this year, even going back to last year, she's only missed this in 3 out of her last 10 games. She ended the season in the playoffs against good competition, dishing a lot of assists, and now she's going up against Dallas, who gives up the most assists in the league. She also just played them a couple days ago, had 9 assists against them, and that was on the road. They are now at home in this rematch a couple days later, so I like her to go over 6.5. I think she's going to really continue to improve. You saw her step up big time in the playoffs last year. So Courtney Williams over 6.5 assists. And I'm pairing that up with Carrington over 12.5 points. This is a head-to-head matchup type play. And look, Minnesota is one of the best defenses in the league, but for some reason, Carrington cooks against them. This is her against them over the last, 2 years, right? She's only missed this once, and it was back in May of 2024. So last season's May. Otherwise, I mean, you look, the playoff series they played, she went over it in all, 5 games. She went over it in the opening season game here. She went over it in the other 2 games during the regular season last year. We're looking at 8 straight games against the Lynx where she's gone over this now. So that's enough for me to feel pretty good about it. We look, she went over against them game 1, and then she only put up 4 against Seattle in the second game of the season. She shot 2 for 8. I don't expect to see that from her again. Really, this is just a fact that she goes over against Minnesota pretty consistently, and so I am locking that one in over 12.5 points for Carrington. You'll see that slip on the screen here. We're getting just about 3.4x for this on Sleeper. Sleeper has some of the best payouts for two-man entries, as you'll see here. They also, for WNBA, they have more props available for each player than anyone else. A lot of other apps are going to give you maybe like 2 or 3 different props to choose from for each player. Sleeper still gives you 10 to 12, even in the WNBA, which enables you to be really strategic, right? You're not boxed into a couple different props you have to take, but you have an option which enables you to typically do better when you have more to choose from. They also have tons of promos, and when you sign up using code BWADE, they'll double that first deposit up to $100 and give you a free pick. Take advantage of that type of stuff. It adds up over time, and it's the easiest way to increase your bankroll without taking any risk. So sign up, use code BWADE, and then take a screenshot, send it to me on Instagram, and I will hook you up with that free week of VIP, guys. Also, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment so you're entered to win that signed Anthony Edwards jersey. Y'all, I'm excited to give this one out. It's perfect timing. I did a couple signed SGA jerseys already. We've done Paolo Banchero last month. Like, I love doing this shit. I pick up players that I enjoy, and so I hope you guys enjoy it as well. And I'm excited to give it out at the end of the month. Let's get into these next two. So these last two picks are basically going to be like bucking the trend, the recent trend, right? And you see what Collier's done to open the season. Look, she's an MVP favorite this season. Collier is an absolute dog. She opened the season with a 4-rebound game and a 6-rebound game. But you look back at last season, she was going over this in 70% of games. She averaged 9.4 rebounds per game. And now we come into this season, and she's had 2 down rebounding games with only 4 and 6. She's going up against Dallas at home now, and this is their home opener, right? And so this is their first home game of the season. I expect them to come out with energy. They're already 2-0, right? But playing at home, you have more energy. Rebounds there's definitely skill involved, but it's also an effort stat. And so I think being at home, you get a little bit more energy and effort out of it. And I think she hits the boards hard, and we end up clearing this one, guys. You see what she did last year, consistently going over this. There was only, 1, 2, 3 times last season where she missed this in back-to-back games, and she already started this season out missing it back-to-back games. I don't think she hits a third game without getting over this, so I'm taking Collier over 7.5 rebounds. And then I'm taking Arike Ogunbowale over 1.5 3-pointers. She has started this year out ice cold, 0 for 3 and then 1 for 8. So she's 1 for 11 from 3-point range this year to start. Again, let's look back at last year at how she did. First off, she hit at least 2 3-pointers in 76% of her games last year. So that right there is a pretty good indicator. She didn't have a single game back-to-back, right? There were no back-to-backs where she had less than 2 3-pointers. Every single one of them was an isolated incident, no streaks where she was missing. And she averaged 8.5 attempts per game with a 34% field goal percentage from 3, averaging 3 per game. Now we're getting this line at 1.5 because she started the year out a little bit cold, but she's one of the best players in the league. She now has Paige Beckers playing along her, helping to take some of that pressure off, also helping her to get open easier, and I expect her to bounce back in this game. This is not a player who's just going to fall off the edge of a cliff, right? Like, she's going to bounce back here, and I think this is probably one of the best picks to take in this matchup. So Ogunbowale over 1.5 3-pointers made. You'll see that slip on the screen here. We're getting 2.6x for this on Underdog. Underdog's one of my favorite apps, and they have one of the best promos going during these NBA playoffs. It's called the Extender. They're giving us anywhere from 40% profit boosts all the way up to 100% profit boosts on every single NBA playoff game for all users. It starts at 40% for game 1, and it continues to increase until you're getting 100% profit boosts in game 7, and then it resets in each series. Guys, this is probably the best promo I've seen on a fantasy app since I've started doing this. Take advantage of it. Underdog will also double your first deposit up to $1,000 when you use code BWADE. Sign up, get that sign up bonus, use these profit boosts, make some money, and send a screenshot to me when you do sign up. Send it on Instagram. I'll get you that free week of VIP. You can start tailing all these picks with us. Like I said, we're up over 20 some units for the past month. You'll see it on the screen again. So I want to help you. Let me help you. Jump in VIP, whether you sign up with one of the apps or you just use code NBA in the checkout. It'll be $10 for a week of picks. You won't regret it, guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment so you're entered to win that signed Anthony Edwards jersey, and let's get some money.